Hello everyone, and welcome to another very beautiful chess game by Bobby Fischer. And in this chess game, Bobby Fischer is playing with the white pieces, and his opponent is a player named Edwin Bhend. And Bhend was the Swiss champion from 1966, but the game was played in 1959 in the Zurich tournament in Switzerland. So the Zurich tournament in that year, in 1959, was actually a very strong tournament. In that tournament, there was lots of strong and legendary players who was competing in that tournament, like Mikkel Tal, Fredrik Olofsson, Paul Keres, Bent Larsen, Grigorich, the legendary Yugoslav chess player, and of course Bobby Fischer and the others. It was a very strong chess tournament, and Bobby Fischer, as a very young player, did great in that tournament, and he became the third place in the tournament, and Mikkel Tal was the winner of the Zurich tournament. So Bobby Fischer lost only 2 times. Also Mikkel Tal lost 2 times. So anyway, let's check this very beautiful and a very entertaining chess game by Bobby Fischer. One of the most beautiful and the memorable chess games by Bobby Fischer, but this game was not in his book, in my 60 memorable chess games book. So Bobby Fischer, who has the white pieces, starts the game with playing e4, c5, Sicilian defense, knight to f3, g6. So this is the hyper-accelerated dragon variation of the Sicilian defense. d4, c takes on d4, knight takes pawn, knight to f6, knight to c3, bishop to g7, e5, attacking the knight, knight to g8, and Fischer played bishop to f4, knight to c6, knight takes knight, b takes on c6, all the standard moves by both players, bishop to c4, f6, and e6 by Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer wants to damage the pawn structure, he wants to create some weakness, and Bhend captures the pawn, d takes on e6, queen to f3, eyeing the pawn on c6, defending with the queen, queen to b6, and maybe attacking on b2. Bobby Fischer is not defending the pawn, and he castled. Bhend played knight to h6, knight to a4, attacking the queen, queen to d4, and Bobby Fischer captures the knight, bishop takes on h6, bishop takes, bishop, queen takes on c6, that's check, king to f7, and Bobby Fischer, interestingly, didn't capture the rook, and he played rook from a to e1. Why? Let's take it back. Well, if queen takes rook, then queen takes on c4, knight to c3, queen to b4, and in this variation, actually, white is better, white is winning, but this is not crushing for white. According to the computer engine, white is only slightly better, and maybe black has some compensation in this position. So anyway, let's get back to the game. So Fischer played, as you know, rook from a to e1 in the real game, and attacking the pawn, intensifying the pressure on e6, and there is no way for defending the pawn. So Bhend played rook to b8, defending the rook, and then Fischer captures the pawn, bishop takes on e6, king to g7, bishop to d5, bishop to g5, rook to e4, attacking the queen, queen to d2, and then Fischer captures the pawn, rook takes on e7, king to h6, of course. Well, if king to f8, then queen to e8, checkmate. So this is why Bhend played king to h6, and then Bobby Fischer played rook takes on a7, And Bobby Fischer has 3 extra pawns. Bishop to f5, c4, rook from b to d8, knight to c5, rook from h to e8, knight to e6, attacking the rook, bishop takes knight, bishop takes on e6, bishop to e3 by Edwin Bhend. What's the idea behind this move? Well, Bobby Fischer didn't capture the bishop, so Bhend is offering his bishop for free, but that's not really free. So we have rook to d7 by Fischer, the better move. Well, Bhend is a very tricky player, so if f takes on e3, then queen takes on e3, king to h1, queen takes on a7. Well, this is unpleasant for white. So Fischer played rook to d7, also attacking the queen and attacking the bishop. So we have bishop takes on f2, rook takes on f2, queen to e1. That's check. Rook to f1, queen to e3, king to h1. And then rook takes on e6, capturing the bishop, getting back the material. And Bobby Fischer played a marvelous move. And can you guess the next move of Bobby Fischer? Right now, Bhend is attacking the queen, but Fischer played a very beautiful move. Actually, that move is a very easy move to find. So can you guess that move? Maybe the first move comes to mind is queen to c7, but Fischer played a better move. Well, Bobby Fischer played rook takes on h7, that's check, king takes on h7, and then queen to c7, that's check. After sacrificing the rook, Fischer is getting back the rook. So this is check and also attacking the rook. So what else? We have king to h6 and then Fischer captured the rook on d8. Queen to e2, attacking the rook. And in this position, Bhend is threatening checkmate. So Fischer is simply defending. Going back, queen to d1. Queen takes on b2. And Bhend hopelessly wants to equalize the material, but of course Bobby Fischer is 2 pawns up still. Fischer has the extra material, and positionally and of course materially, Fischer is winning. White is much better. And in this position, what would you do? Of course, if it was me, I would try to simplify the game as much as I can. So Bobby Fischer is simplifying the game and removing the queens in the board. So Fischer played queen to c1, that's check, also attacking the queen. So black has to capture the queen. Queen takes on c1, rook takes on c1, rook to e2 by Bhend, attacking the a pawn, a3, rook to a2, c5, and how to stop the c pawn? Well, Bhend captures the pawn. But Bobby Fischer is marching the pawn c6, rook to a8, only defense, c7, only one move left for promoting a queen, rook to c8, and this is completely dead for black because of the passed pawn, king to g1, and Bhend moved his king to the south, king to g5, a meaningless move, and after this move, Bhend resigned. And I think it's absurd to show the possible continuation after this position. So Bobby Fischer is going to march the king, slowly advanced his rook and his pawns, and then win the game. So Fischer has the passed pawn. C pawn is a killer pawn. So always black has to check and look out for that pawn. And this is a very easy endgame for white. So that's why Bhend resigned. So this was one of the most recognized and one of the most beautiful chess games of Bobby Fischer from 1959 in Zurich. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and bye bye for now.